how are you handling the COVID thing, man? Were you
I'm
cool?
actually, it was like a blessing for me,
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when I got busted for bongs, I thought I was going to get house arrest. And that made me really happy because,
Yeah,
for as long as I've been around, I never really had to spend any time at home.
Right.
I was on the road. I always, doing something. And so this pandemic was like a blessing. I got the house arrest that I always wanted. And so I've been digging it. My wife cooks for me.
um, there
I
you
do the
go.
dishes. But I mean, life is very beautiful for me.
What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. I'm your host, Gary G. Garcia, along with my partner in misinformation, Brian Licata, the man himself. It is so good to be back. It's been a minute since we did this, and people, hold on to your fucking crotches. We have got a fucking show for you today. I'm so excited for the guest that we have on today. And it's just gonna be fucking a dope ass show. We waiting for him to come on. But until then, man, Brian, cheers to you, brother. It's good to see you.
Salud.
I saw this brother on Thanksgiving. He came out, gave me and my son some food, and then drove back. He didn't come out to give me food. He came out to see his family, but he thought of a brother, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And big up to your moms. Big shout out to Brian's moms. Pew, 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 pew. Food was delicious, extra gravy. Come on, dog.
Yeah, Gail knows what she's doing. It was really good to see you too, man. It was just nice to give you a hug, and he got to meet Boots also.
Gary I got the dog. Boots try to bite me like 3 times. That's all right. He was protecting you.
He was.
And at one point, I was telling an aggressive story, so it makes sense.
You of anybody who has met him so far handled him the most appropriately, right? You were like, listen, he's trying to protect you. Don't scold him. Let him do his thing. And then he came right. What did he do right after he tried to bite you? He leaned
right on me. Yeah, animals love me, man. Sometimes off the jump, they might get a little itchy, but eventually they give in to me, man.
Well, see, that's also him too. That's not just you. That's him as a dog. He's got a little trauma and shit.
You're trying to take away my shine on animals, dog. Do I need to remind you that I've gotten high with a squirrel in every neighborhood I lived in, dog? Animals love me. Don't be fucking trying to take away my shine with animals. Like, oh no, he's like that with everybody. Fuck out of here, son.
I meant the part where he was trying to bite you. He's like that with everybody. Not the way you won him over was unlike anybody I've ever seen, dude. I'm trying to give you a compliment, and you're jumping down my throat.
I'm sorry. That's me. That's my problem. I don't listen.
I think our first episode, maybe the second, was called "People Don't Listen." And
first episode, people don't listen, and I don't. Look at that! I cut you off when you was trying to give me a compliment.
People, including ourselves, don't listen.
I'm horrible. And once again, people, I'm not like buying packs again. This is a Lucy. I'm back on my regiment. I'm gonna cut out smoking completely. For a while at least, just so I can get my stamina up to bust this kid's ass right here. We're excited. We got 1 subscriber already. And of course it was his lady. But
this would be a good time to plug patreon.com/ratedg.
Listen, we only need 9 more subscribers, and we will set the date for me and Brian for the big fucking what are we calling it?
I don't even the fight of the millennium.
The fight of the millennium. Look at that. $5, people. You get a mug, right?
Yeah, $5 you get a sticker, $10 you get a logo mug with the quote, and $20 a month you get a t-shirt. So you have to.
There you go.
Oh, he's here. Are you ready?
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited for this fucking show. Yeah, you're reading that right, people. We have got the legend himself.
Hey, how you doing?
Original king of marijuana.
That's right.
Tommy Chong.
The Pope of Dope.
Our show tonight. Tommy, what's up?
You got it, dude. It's your show.
I can't even believe I just said, Tommy, what's up?
How are you, man? Thank you for
Dude,
joining
I
the
want to
show.
thank you for coming on the show, man. This
Yeah,
is my
thank
boy,
you.
Brian Licata.
Hey, Brian, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Dude, it is an honor to have you on the show, man. You are truly a legend. I'm a 70s baby. So you are truly a legend, man. It is amazing to have you on the show. How you been?
Excellent. Couldn't be better. Everything's
Very
good.
awesome.
Everything's
You're looking good?
Yeah, I feel great, man. You know.
Now, where are you right now?
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Respect to you, man. Respect to you for coming on the show.
Where are you calling from?
I'm
Where's
in
the show
Atlantic
from?
City right now.
Oh.
And Brian's in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we touching all parts of the United States right now. This is so exciting, man. I honestly don't even know where to begin, dog. And I honestly don't. I'm like freaking. How you been handling? Let's start off right off the bat. Me and Brian talk a lot about what's going on right now, as far as like the whole COVID thing and everything. How are you handling the COVID thing, man? Were you
I'm
cool?
actually, it was like a blessing for me, you know. When I got busted for bongs, I thought I was going to get house arrest, and that made me really happy because, for as long as I've been around, I never really had to spend any time at home. I was on the road. I always, doing something, and so this pandemic was like a blessing. I got the house arrest that I always wanted. And so I've been digging it. My wife cooks for me.
Oh, there you go.
I do the dishes, but I mean, life is very beautiful for me. All the kids are gone. All we get now is grandkids, which is even better. And everything is so good. I got a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood. I don't have to drive anymore because I've got a bit of an eye problem, and so I got into going out on Lyft and and so, man, that is so cool. Can you imagine? You get your phone, you call for your car, it tells you when he's out in front. You get in, you don't have to say hello, but you do anyway.
Right.
And you have to wear a mask, but that's cool. And then they drive you to where you have to go to be, and you can kick back, be as high as you want to be, listen to the radio.
They let you smoke in the car?
No.
They don't even let you smoke in the car?
Oh,
Do they know who you are?
No, the thing is, see, I'm an old G stoner. And the first thing you know is that when to smoke. You eventually learn. Yeah,
that's it's crazy. The other day I was smoking a blunt with my son at the park in Astoria, Queens. And I said to him, it's crazy because cops drove right by us, kept going. I said, man, back when I was your age, dog, we would have to put that down. The cop would pull over. He'd toss us all up. And if they found a dime on you, you were going in.
Oh yeah.
That's
and
insane.
They didn't have to even have any reason to stop you.
Right.
Nah.
Except that you're young and just hanging around.
Now you brought up the whole thing. I didn't want to jump right into the whole bond thing, but since you brought it up, let's jump right into it. They gave you what, 9 months?
Yeah.
Now, did you did some time inside, right, before they gave you the house arrest?
I never got house arrest.
You never got the house arrest?
9 months.
No.
Right?
I was hoping I was going to get house arrest.
Yeah, and they didn't give it to you, right?
No. And so, it took about a year, but then they put me in, into camp cupcake, they call it,
They call it cupcake.
Camp cupcake.
But now you did the whole 9 months, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that federal shit.
Yeah.
That story is crazy, dog.
It was good. I had the best time. I was with my fans. It was in a camp.
Yeah, I'm sure you had a lot of fans inside.
Oh, yeah. My only job really was taking pictures with the other inmates, and the visiting time was when I'd perform because people would come to see me. In fact, they had to stop. They had to change the visiting rules because too many people were coming out, just to
see
say
you.
hi. Yeah,
Of course.
get a picture. And so they eventually had a rule where I couldn't take pictures with anybody anymore. But it was a really good experience, And my wife made more money when I was in jail than I did when I was out.
You're almost a hip hop artist.
Yeah,
You're practically a hip hop artist right now, man.
I'm a musician.
I know.
Now,
I'm very inspired by you. I mean, there's certain things that I saw when I watched the documentary that reminded me a lot of myself, and that made me feel good. Because when you see somebody who you respect and is a great artist doing things that remind you of yourself, and then you must be on the right page.
You must be doing something right.
Yeah, man, you've been in the game a long time. How long you been in the game? Because I got into you probably when I was 78 is when Up in Smoke came out. So I probably got into that when I was like 12, because 12 was when I first started smoking.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, you always look kind of older.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there watching that, I'm wondering how old were you when you did Up in Smoke?
I was 40.
You was already 40. Oh,
yeah,
so I wasn't old.
I was 40 years old. I played a teenager, a guy that didn't want to leave home,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Oh, it was perfect. Same as Cheech. Cheech is 10 years younger than me.
Right.
So Cheech was barely 30. And we played. It was great. It was perfect timing,
And you still talk to Cheech, right?
No, we still work together once in a while.
You still work together, right?
I talked to him yesterday. He's in Winnipeg doing a movie now. With
he does a lot of stuff too, right? He's got
Woody
man.
Harrelson. Yeah,
It's crazy how you guys. You know what I found crazy is when I was watching it, man. Like the prosecutor used your movies against you.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, he did these movies 40 years ago. How in the world are they using that against him now? I'm telling you, you're practically a hip hop artist.
That's all they had. That's just right. All they had for evidence. That was the only thing I did wrong was, be who I was,
people, you got to check this story out if you don't know this story. This dude is a gangster as far as it goes, because basically you took the fall so that they would just, leave your wife and your son alone.
Yeah.
So you took the fall.
Yeah, exactly. But
Tommy, you don't get more gangster than that, Tommy.
I know.
I want to ask you something, man. How did you stay? Because it appeared that you stayed so calm, like throughout that whole situation. How did you keep that good perspective through like that situation and like what is going on now? Like with COVID, you have a great perspective on the whole thing. Like a lot of people are getting all fucked up about it.
Yeah, I know. I've been around a long time, and so. When people say to me, how can you stand there or sit there and sign autographs all day? And I tell them I've had worse jobs,
right.
And so coming up, I come up very, we're dirt ass poor, I mean, I lived in a house that had no indoor plumbing.
Mm-hmm. And where were you raised? Where were you raised again?
In Canada, in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah. And then I found out just recently that I'm 8% Native. So
I'm not surprised.
So I lived like a Native for the early part of my life.
Right.
In fact, I still am a Native, because it was a Native that got me playing guitar in front of people. And he was my first partner, full-blooded Sarsi Indian from Calgary, Dick Bird, and then I ended up finding out about rhythm and blues from a descendant from slaves from Texas, and they had moved up. After when they got free, they formed a wagon train and made it up to Edmonton. But because they were black, they weren't allowed to settle in Edmonton. so they made them go up north of Edmonton to their own community called. Yeah, I forgot it now.
Is it kind of like a reservation, but not actually a reservation, just like a town
No,
that they all
no,
lived in?
no. It was like a little community. You know, they had farm. They
Right.
had their own farm and stuff. But it was from slaves, Amber Valley. They moved to a place called Amber Valley, and then there they had offspring, of course. In fact, I married my first wife, Maxine. Her mother was one of the granddaughters from the slaves. You know,
Ah.
so it was. So anyway, Tommy Milton was a football hero in Calgary, and him and my brother played football together. And so I got to know Tommy. Tommy found out I played guitar,
Mhm.
and he's a singer. And so he turned me, and then he was also I was a dancer too. We danced the Lindy Hop, the
The
jive.
Lindy Hop.
Yeah, and
I
so
was
I
gonna
was.
say breakdancing. That was gonna be my guest.
No, they never had breakdance in it. This is back in the 50s, early 50s.
Yeah, you
That's when I
recorded a
started.
song. You wrote a song that they recorded and put out, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote. No, that's not with Tommy. But Tommy, the first, he was Black Canadian, but he was a football hero, and he turned me on to rhythm and blues.
Oh, all right.
And our first band was called the Shades because we're all different colors. It was a native Canadian, native, Dick. He was the First Nations, as they call it. Tommy, a descendant from the slaves from Texas, and then myself. My dad's Chinese, and
Yeah.
my mother's
Yeah, you're a
Scottish,
mutt. You're straight up mutt.
Irish.
You're as
Oh
muddy as
yeah,
they
yeah,
come.
yeah. So I got turned on to R&B real early. Before the Beatles actually.
Yeah, well,
And
the Beatles
before,
were the ones who turned me on when I started doing music. Because I did
yeah,
music as well, too. I was signed to
yeah,
Epic back in '92. I had a live
and
hip hop band.
and it was oh yeah, you were the
I was the
rapper.
front man. Yeah, I was the rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had long dreadlocks.
Paris, what's that movie Ray Downs in with the hip hop movie? Do you remember?
Beat Street.
What is Beat Street?
Beat Street.
Have you seen Beat Street?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's my daughter. That's my daughter, Ray Dawn. That's my daughter.
That's right. Radon Chong is in that. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you just blew my head. That's right. She's in Beach Street.
Yeah.
Ah, yo, Tommy, you just blew my head, dog.
I know.
Forgot all about that.
I know.
I forgot that Ray was that your daughter was Ray. Oh my God, how did I forget that?
Yeah, she's
That's
doing.
amazing.
She's doing something with the vampire. What's that? Interview with the vampire. It's that there's a series called something with the vampires. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
Ray Dawn, that's what Ray Dawn's doing.
yeah, that's
But
crazy.
I got turned on to the other the brother culture early in my life,
Yeah,
because Calgary was so racist. It was unbelievably racist, but
I can only imagine.
ignorantly racist.
Yeah. Well, most racism is ignorance.
Well, no, it is, but not militant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was the opposite. Well, they're natives. It was crazy, but we had the most fun because we had the music. The music freed us totally.
Yeah. Well, that's
The
what
music.
it does.
Yeah, and that we became so popular. We became so popular. We got run out of town by the mayor of Calgary.
You've always been a rebel, Tommy.
Yeah, I know, man. Shit.
Always been a rebel.
Did
And
you
I
ever
got a question. When you were doing the movies
Yeah.
back in the day, like back when you were doing the movies, because they brought
Yeah.
that shit up on your trial, did you get any backlash back then when you were doing the movies?
No.
Nobody gave a fuck, right?
Everybody loved it. Cops
Yeah.
included. Yeah, cops loved it.
I totally bugged out when they brought up the movies as part of the whole prosecution thing. You said one of the most amazing things in one of your interviews. They asked you, I forgot who asked you, but he said, "Isn't selling bongs legal?" And you said, "Not if it got my face on it."
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And I mean, the honest truth is, it was entrapment. They asked you about that too, and you said, "Not in America." You know what I'm saying? It's insane.
Yeah.
For my listeners who don't know, basically, Tommy has a bong business. He's doing his thing, and if I'm correct, the DEA created a smoke shop in PA.
In Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh, and then they ordered from our company, and
that's insanity.
we
your company turned them down over and over again.
That's right, we turned them down. We got tapes of that.
I know.
We got tapes of that. Had it gone to trial, we would have walked for sure. But the thing is,
I can't go to trial with the federal government, man.
Well, you can if you have the right money, because it's all about money. It's all about money.
Yep.
But you know what?
They would have financially ruined you before. The 9 months is nothing compared to the financial ruin you would have had to go through.
Oh, for sure. But it all backfired on them, And I love
it. Only made you stronger, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was ordained to be. I was supposed to go to prison. All my life I had friends that were in prison, and they would go in, we're both little skinny guys, and he comes out all buffed, looking bad. And so I got jealous. I said, shit, I want to go to jail and come out all buffed.
Did you work out when you was inside?
Oh, yeah.
So you came out looking a little...
No, I came out looking good, man, because you eat right, In fact, as a going away present, there was a vato in the joint. He was a barber, and he gave me a 2-hour haircut. It took him 2 hours to cut my hair. It was so perfect that my wife just died. I looked like a movie star. All tan, perfect haircut. Buffed, looking good from being in the joint. It was great.
That is amazing, yo. You make it sound, you know what's funny is you make prison sound like it's okay to go to.
It is.
This motherfucker got me going, shit, maybe I was wrong about never going to prison.
You go with the right reason, especially with me in a camp. But
but you're Tommy
here's
Chong.
What we did. Here's what we did.
You know what I'm saying? But you're Tommy Chong. Gary G. Garcia goes into prison. It ain't going to be the same experience as Tommy Chong going into prison.
Exactly. But listen to this. I watched every sunset for 3 months straight. I got to the point, I watch it, not a lot to do, after dinner, before dinner, whatever. And the sunset, okay, sit. And I used to sit and watch the sunset. And then it was in the desert. And so there was big sky. It was huge sky. And then for some reason, skydivers would appear and be doing a show for us. We're sitting in the prison, in the grounds and looking up at the sunset and waiting for the sunset and watching the skydivers. I found out later that they knew I was in jail.
And they were hooking you up.
And they knew that I was watching.
See, Tommy, that's what I'm saying. People, listen, don't listen to Tommy. Jail isn't fun. It's fun if you're Tommy Chong. If you're Tommy Chong, you'll probably be okay. But, I don't think it...
Yeah. Well,
you make it sound like a cruise. You never been to prison? You got to go.
The secret is that you got to be connected with the higher power. You see, getting high has always been great. And when they made it illegal, that wasn't so great, but it made getting high even more necessary.
Yep.
And staying high, because when you're high, you're connected, because that's where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in that higher, they call it higher education.
Yeah.
Everything higher is good. And so when I
100% agree.
When I found a substance that made me really hear music, can you imagine? The first time I got high, I was in a jazz club and they put on a tune called "Lonely Woman" by Ornette Coleman, and I'm as high as I can be, and Ornette Coleman's in my head. I could see the lonely woman he was playing about. know what I mean? And the visuals came to me.
Yeah.
And so that's what what I used when we did all the movies, wrote the movies, when we did our live show, we did the records.
Yeah.
I was never alone. I always had that higher power directing me.
You know, it's funny because the first time I ever smoked weed, and I got high off of it, because it took 2 times. First time, I guess I didn't inhale right or whatever. But the second time, that was the first time I realized the government, I said to myself at 12 years old, the government is lying to me. Because before that, I was drinking 40s all the time with my friends, and we were getting drunk and being violent, doing violent things, even if on the most mellow night, breaking bottles and being loud and rowdy. But when we smoked weed, we were all just chilling. We were all just talking and having conversation and relaxed. And I said to myself, how can this be illegal, and alcohol is legal?
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. I was like, they're lying to me.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't trust them after that.
Well, look what alcohol does to you. You know, when I was in prison, I took a drug education course. I had to. It was mandatory. And
did you teach them anything?
I was the best student. I learned. Because what they taught, the guy that was teaching it, he was an old music roadie.
Right.
His name was Griff, and he was a very cool guy, and he loved anybody hip in there. And so when I ended up there, we used to hang out at his little drug education area that he had. In fact, the warden, and they got a little suspicious, and they did a surprise raid on us, thinking that we were in there smoking weed or something.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, when you said you learned, I'm like, well, what did you learn? That if you blow the smoke into the toilet, it gets rid of the smell in the cell?
No, the drug education course taught me how dangerous alcohol is.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
alcohol before what they have now, the anesthesia that puts you out for operations, they used to use ether,
right,
which is really pure alcohol.
Right.
And so the reason they have an anesthesiologist beside you when you're being put under is because when you're under ether, you're near death.
Right.
That you're so close to death that you got a guy sitting there watching, and if they give you a little bit too much or whatever, boom, you're gone, and a lot of chances are you're not coming back. That's what alcohol does to you when you drink. It brings you close.
You talked about going under just now, and I'm thinking I'm amazed on how Tommy made me want to go to jail but never have an operation again. You just made me so terrified to ever have an operation again.
Not with ether or alcohol. And see, this is what alcohol does to you, and this is why a lot of people die every year from alcohol poisoning.
Right.
Yep. You see,
and
so what happens to your body? Your body gets confused because your senses are designed to show your body if you're in trouble. Your body knows how to react, knows what drugs to give you. If you're going to be into a painful situation, your body will react. And so that's why a lot of people they mistake the high for a near-death experience, and so they keep looking for that high again, and eventually they find it in death. So that's how dangerous alcohol is.
But in a way, they also succeeded. Legal. So big up to all those champions out there. Here's a question, Tommy. Did you get high? Yeah. Did you get high when you was inside?
Never.
Smart.
Never.
Were people trying to get you high?
All the time.
All the time.
And you know why? They were working for the government. They're snitches. They were
probably.
Because probably nothing. I got drug tested every time someone offered me something.
You got drug tested.
An hour later, I'd be in there being drug tested. Yep. That's how obvious they
fucking
were.
Rats.
But what I
Fuck you,
wanted
shout
to
out
do,
to the rats.
no,
Pew, pew.
what I wanted to do, and I did, I showed the cops, you don't need pot. That's the greatest thing about it. So
Yeah.
that's one of the greatest things. It's not addicting.
Yeah.
Cigarette, what eating is more addicting than well, of course, we won't even get into that, but the effect of pot is you can think. Your brain is so powerful that you can remember.
Yep.
You can remember what it's like to get high, and just remembering will get you high. That's what I say. Being straight is just another high if you know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Truth bombs right here. We got Tommy dropping truth bombs.
Yeah.
Original OG.
That's why religion is so powerful in the world. And like and so many phony religions out there just for the money. It's like a hypnotic thing. They hypnotize people because they can control the people's. If you can control the mind, you can control the body.
Which, I mean, that's essentially what your whole court case was about, and all the other prohibition they have going on. It's really about control. They don't like that you can do something to make money off of it, and they don't like it.
Well, Tommy's living proof.
No, they're all racist laws.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they were written by white people for white people. That's what people don't understand is that these laws were written when they had slaves. So obviously they weren't thinking of people of color in these laws.
No.
Any law that helps anybody of color had to be amended.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what it is any substance that a population, indigenous population depends upon can be, if you can control them, like it did with us, is they made it illegal. So if they caught us with it, we went to jail.
Yeah.
Just like the slave days, if they found out that you were educated, you could go to jail.
Right.
It's
if
just
you
another
go to school.
You would think they would have been smart enough to act stupid.
Yeah, you got the Native Americans with the peyote.
I'm horrible, man. I know
mushrooms and marijuana with the Native Americans also.
Yeah, exactly.
All those things away. Now, are you into psychedelics like that at all, or is it just weed?
I've done it all. I've done all the psychedelics. LSD, MDA. Cocaine. Of course, I had my little dance with cocaine. But I had to quit doing that dance.
It's I always say cocaine is a real glamorous drug. It'll have you sniffing off the prettiest toilet seats in New York.
Yeah, it's a dangerous drug because there's certain things. I don't ride or own a motorcycle.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't do cocaine for the same reason, which is I'm too old and too rich.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I figure my lifestyle kills me. I don't need to add to it by riding motorcycles or shit like that, man. I stay away from shit like that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can do that. The truth is,
I mean, you look like a biker.
You out, yeah. I really, I had a lot of biker friends. In fact, the guy that gave me this is a racist tattoo, by the way. I had no idea. I got it when I was 15.
I'm kind of thinking that helped you a little bit when you were inside.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to think there were a lot of bald people in your pictures.
Well, I did hang with all the bikers in the joint. They were my friends.
There you go.
In fact, my dog was Steve, and he was what do you call it? Independent. He didn't belong to any club,
right?
But he was a definite biker. He was the most fun. We had a lot of fun. But
now, did you have a cellmate, or they had you alone?
Well, we never had cells. We were in cubicles.
Right.
We were in the cubicles, and I had a very famous cellie, cubicle partner in my cubicle, Jordan Belfort. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My God, you guys were locked up together. That's amazing.
You are a gangster.
Yeah,
This is amazing.
I helped
what was
him with
he
his
like?
book. Yeah, I helped him with his book. Oh, he's a genius. He's a fucking genius.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
was anybody fucking with him? Nobody really fucks with each other there, right? Because then you get put into.
Well, no, especially in the camp. No, if you raise your voice too loud, they can kick you out, put you in the serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one wants to fuck that up.
Oh no, nobody.
So you never had an experience where someone tried to fuck with you, and then someone said, "Whoa, that's Tommy Chong," and then they went, "Oh, I didn't realize."
No, I'll tell you the only kind of conflict I had was with there's a main prison, with the walls and they were like very racist too. Although it was mostly Spanish people in there, immigrant. What do you call it? Illegals. But it was a real prison, and all of a sudden they expelled this transvestite, and he was a guy with titties, and long hair, not very handsome. In fact, pretty deadly. You just had to keep looking at the titties. But anyway,
how were they? Were they big, small, up,
beautiful?
Down? Yeah. Okay.
No, they were.
Well,
like,
if you're gonna be a guy with titties, you got to have nice titties.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was no mistake there. These were titties.
Yeah.
Anyway, they in the main prison, they objected to him being there, and so they dressed him up in orange prison garb, and they sent him over to our our grounds,
right?
And he was kind of like out in the flats, where their people can see him, and it was to be embarrassing. And to say, we don't want no queers around here, that kind of thing.
Right.
Well, I knew my status there, so I went right over to him and greeted him and said, "Hey, welcome to the place. You're gonna like it here," because he did like it.
Right.
We had a gay dormitory, we had a straight dormitory, so all the rejects were really. They're for their own protection,
right.
So you wouldn't get hurt. And when I did that, then everybody else accepted, they said, "Oh, okay, it's cool. It's cool to be, I set the standard." And we became friends. He was cool, He was in there for methamphetamine. And
not surprising.
And there was so many people in there for meth and all that stuff. It was more of a rehab place, but that was the only. We had another drama. We had some guy. The CAF was originally a woman's prison, and so it was a great place to be because you had unlimited showers. We had our own water tank.
Right.
So we had unlimited showers. We had doors over the bathroom, the toilet.
I don't even got unlimited showers in my house.
And we had, I know, and we had doors on the showers themselves. It wasn't made for women, and so the shower situations was the luxury. Work hard all day and then come in and take a hour shower. Well, anyway, we had a dorm meeting, and the complaint was that somebody is shitting in the showers and then stuffing it down into the drain with his foot or something.
What is wrong with people?
It's a prison. Come on.
I know, but so what? What is wrong with people?
Still.
What is wrong? Do they have lunatics running around?
It's not only a prison; it's a hospital.
All right.
A mental hospital.
Yeah. It's a mental home. Yeah. So, but everybody didn't.
God.
Everybody didn't react to it. But there's humor there. So the lady.
See, people, when you start thinking that what Tommy said is cool to go to prison, just remember this: there's that shit thing, like people shitting in the showers. That kind of goes on in prison sometimes.
So the dorm lady was telling us, this whole thing, and so blind Steve, there was a lot of Steves there, and blind Steve, he was a gypsy car dealer or car thief or whatever. And he's in there. He's a real cool guy. We used to play music and sing. He could sing like Elvis and that. Steve raises his hand. He goes, "Listen, I'm blind, so who's ever shitting in the showers, don't use the first one, okay?"
Oh my God.
That's my shower. And everybody had a chuckle over that. So
but then everybody started using the first shower.
No, it became.
Now you had to wait 20 minutes to get into the fucking shower.
It became a job for these criminals to find out who's doing it. And so, there's a lot of con men, a lot of sharp people in there. And so they found the guy. They did the work. They cased out the toilet because
prisoners could be so good when they put their minds to something.
Yes. Well, when you don't have big problems, your little problems become big problems.
Right. Yep. That is really what is going on in the world today.
Yes.
Facts.
In the essence of what is what
another truth bomb by Tommy Chong.
Oh, I've got a lot of them. I've got a lot of them. Yeah. So anyway, when before we work, we're broken up in little groups. Before you go to your work, you get up early in the morning, have breakfast, and you go to your little group, and then you do your job.
What was your job?
Well, my job was sweeping the sidewalks. At first, I didn't have a job. I was going to just work in the garden, but then I missed a count, so then they made me.
They were probably afraid you grow weed.
Yeah, no, they're not afraid of that. No, the garden, if I wanted to grow weed, we could grow it. But like I said, I got drug tested too many times. Yeah. But we, I'll sweep. Anyway, we have our little meeting, and the guy that we met with was this little Jewish guy from somewhere Southern California. He was in there on a medical apparatus beef. He was advertising about things that didn't work. And so it was a medical bust, and the feds busted him.
Medical fraud.
Treated him really bad. And he looked like Woody Allen, kind of. He had that glasses.
Yeah, they treated him bad because he did that medical shit.
And
that's cutting in on their market. They don't like that shit.
Yeah, his job in the joint was cleaning the visitors' bathroom. That was his job, and it was an easy job. And so when they did the detective work, he was the culprit. He was the guy that was doing it.
Wow.
And the reason he was doing it was that he was so afraid of black people that he couldn't use the toilet that they used. And so this is my theory.
He couldn't take a shit while he was cleaning the visitor's bathroom?
You would think.
When you're in there cleaning the visitor's bathroom, take a shit.
No, but see, you're using logic. This is a sickness.
Right.
This is a sickness. People have a sickness, defecating sickness, some kind of. Anyway, so they literally drummed him out of the place. They sent him over to the other thing, and it was terrible. It was kind of sad. And we made eye contact when he was leaving, because he had to grab all his personal stuff, and then they walk him over. They walk him over to the other yard, and little Woody Allen guy, and everybody on either side, you shower shitter,
Shower shitter.
Shower shitter. Well, it's a
No,
good thing he
prison,
made eye
prison.
contact when he was leaving, and you didn't catch him in the shower. He's sitting there shitting in the hole, making eye contact with you.
Oh yeah, he gave me that look. It was a sad look, like a little
Oh,
puppy being taken away. You know.
oh
Oh, it
man,
was
you
sad.
have a big heart, Tommy.
Yeah.
How do they put a heart like yours in prison, Tommy? How do they do that shit?
Well, for a
I mean,
reason. For a
yeah.
reason. Hey, I turned it into a spiritual retreat, man. I'm telling you,
So then,
I, I brought in my books, my Joel Goldsmith book. I got it. I brought the I Ching. I had that sent to me. I no, I got.
so none of the COs had like any grudges against you, or just didn't like you because you smoke, or were like idiots to you.
I had one kind of weird thing happened to me. It wasn't bad. It was my first guy that I shared a cubicle with, and he asked me if he was being transferred to another prison, so he asked me if he could. I had some pictures taken with me and my guys in the garden, my buddies in the garden, and he asked if he could have it, take it with him, and I said sure. And then he sold it to the National Enquirer. And I got called into the control,
Yeah,
what do you know about this? I said, oh.
that's some
Yeah,
bullshit, man.
I said, that's me. Yeah. They thought, did I have anything to do with it? I said,
Right.
no.
Yeah,
But I
and they're gonna
ratted them
try to
out.
get you for whatever.
No, I ratted them out.
I mean, he fucked you over. It's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you trying to help him out. Like he gave him something out of a good gesture, and he sold
Yeah,
it.
nah,
That's right. Yeah. I mean, they can't help it. I was.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Paris. Thank you.
are those your grandkids?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just had Tommy John's grandkids on my podcast.
Yeah, making
This
all the
thing is
noise.
just getting better and better.
Now, is it a hammock that you have behind you? Is that what I see going on back there? Okay, an indoor hammock. I like that.
Of course,
Yeah.
Tommy John would have a hammock.
Yeah, well, this is office I share with my son, but it's supposed to be my office. But he asked me what I want.
Same thing about my apartment.
It was about the couch. I said, I don't need a couch. I just need a hammock. So they got me a hammock. But then when my other kids come over, we need the bed. So I got the bed too. So.
Okay, very nice.
No, like I say about staying home, it's such a treat, man. I've never been able to do this all my life.
It saved my life.
Yeah,
if I would have continued, I wouldn't have made it to 50. I wouldn't have made it because I'm out here in Atlantic City. I was partying every night out here, man. And then they locked us down and I started eating better. I started working out. I was a beast during the lockdown. They gave me a loan. I was able to pay back bills because I wasn't spending no money.
Isn't that great?
For the car.
Good for you. See, you were kind of in prison too then. Yeah.
Well, I took it for what it was.
Sure.
I said it's basically a lockdown, but I got cable. And I got I had unlimited showers. Right. Most of them were cold. It was just like prison because I don't get hot water. So I was taking cold showers. I had no place to go, nothing to do.
No cold shower, no heat, no hot water.
I was again, no. Well, the time it came, I really didn't need the heat. I was okay with that. But I was working out like mad, hanging out, catching up, playing video games. I honestly loved it.
Yeah.
We got the podcast started during then, and we also filmed. Yeah. Gary had we filmed his first comedy special.
I did my first stand-up comedy special.
That. I got to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
And we did it during the peak of the pandemic, right when the restaurants opened up. We were able to open up one of the clubs that had enough room to fit 60, and we did a podcast on the whole thing. We did a stand-up. I do stand-up. I love your stand-up too. You're still doing stand-up now, right?
Not really. No. No, I'm on another quest now.
Oh.
I got a plan to save the planet. And I'm going to put it into work. Now, in order to make the plan work, I got to become one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest. I'd like to go for the richest man in the world. And I can do it. It can be done.
You definitely could, but Tommy, they're going to try to kill you.
Don't matter.
You know that, right? I'm just saying, you know they're gonna try
It
to
don't
kill
matter.
you. You talk
They can
about
try.
saving the
Hey,
planet. They don't want you to save the planet. You try to do
no,
that shit, Tommy.
they
I got
can
your back,
try.
dog.
They can try to kill me.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, this pandemic's trying to kill me. You
Yep.
know, the
Have you
cancer
gotten vaccinated? Did you get
the
the
cancer that
vaccination?
oh yeah, I got them all.
He said, I got
got
them
hey,
all.
listen, I'm so dedicated. I got it when you had to pay money to get it.
Yeah.
The
You probably got the good
vaccination.
shit.
No, it's the same. But the thing is, rich people all got vaccinated first,
Right.
and some paid as much as 10 grand to get vaccinated, and then a month later it was all free. But
Government,
yeah,
because they
I'm
made enough
vaccinated.
paper off of y'all motherfuckers. They were like,
No,
look,
I'm,
we made a killing off of Chong and the rest of them. We could give it to them for free.
but I got to tell you something. You, if your mind, see, the mind controls everything. If you have the ability to keep your mind on God, He will perfect that which concerns you. And that which concerns you can be anything at all. And the more positive, and if you help others, then the rewards will come.
Yep.
And if you fuck over others, then the
You
bad
reap
things
what you
happen.
sow.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly it. So
Yep. I agree
the
with you,
whole
Tommy. Tommy.
and the other thing you got to remember
Mm-hmm.
is that every drop of water that was here when this earth was formed is still here in one form or another.
Yep.
So if every drop of water is still here, then why not every drop of everything else is still here? what makes water any different than anything else?
Well, it's, like dirt. Dirt has been here since the beginning. You can't get rid of dirt. You can just move it
See,
around.
and check this out. There's never been a beginning
Right.
or an end. See, we're in the middle, and we're always in the middle. Now, it's our choice because we have free will. We can make our life whatever we can imagine it can be.
Yep.
And it will happen. If you can imagine whatever you can imagine, it will happen. It will. That's another scripture. It shall be according to your faith.
Yep.
So if you believe in the devil, well, man, you're going to have a lot of company. You're going to have devils up the yin yang, literally. But if you believe in God, and that's it, then your life will be so beautiful.
I agree.
So beautiful that it's really the only thing you can do with it is to share. It's the only thing you can do. Love only works if you share it with someone.
I said the other day, people, they talk about love, but what they want to do is own love. And love is not meant to be owned. It's meant to be shared.
And the reason
if you have no inner love and love for yourself and inner love and love toward God, then what do you have to share?
Yeah.
Then you're just a taker of love.
If you think like a lot of people do, and the reason they do this, by the way, I'm not knocking anybody that's not evolved.
Yes.
Because that's all it is. It's an evolution, and it's not. There's no destination for everybody. Everybody's got their own destination because there's no really nothing to look forward to.
Yeah. This is
because except every day.
This is all we got, and I think that's one of the reasons me and Gary like working with each other is because we both have that same philosophy. We do this because we want to do it. We have fun doing it, and we have people who listen to us and like to watch it. That's
how
why
else
we do it.
would I have met Tommy Chong?
Right.
Yeah. Well, see this. These are
amazing day for me, people.
What you learned, what I've been learning, and this is a result of partly of my incarceration, but mostly it's just what I've been destined to do. Now, the way we save the earth, because earth is what. It's not so much saving the earth because it's eternal, like we are. Everything
it takes care of itself. We become too much, it shakes us off it.
What we have to do, again, we share the love of the earth. That's what we want to share. we want to share the good, because this is like, Timothy Leary, remember Tim
Yep.
Leary?
Yeah,
Timothy Leary.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, he got mad at me one time. We're really good friends. I put him in a movie. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in Nice Dreams. He got a small part, but anyway, we became really good friends. And so one time he was going on and on about a spaceship, getting a spaceship, finding another Earth, because this one's all done, And
Mm-hmm.
I told Tim, I said, we're on a spaceship right now. You can't get a better spaceship than Earth.
Yeah, we have air. We have unlimited air, water.
Yes.
We have all the resources we need, and we're hurling through space.
We don't have to put a helmet on or pee in a bottle.
Not yet. Not till they start charging us for that air, Tommy. Tommy, they're gonna try to charge us for that air. There's gonna come a point.
See that's something.
You're gonna be looking for air to share. You got any air you can share? Neighbors will be knocking on people's doors. I'm late with my air payment. Could you share some air?
or they'll be holding their breath so they don't have to waste it.
Well, remember that nostril.
Remember that saying, "Save your breath." Maybe that comes in there.
There you go. They'll have shirts, dude.
No. But the whole thing is being helping others. That is the key. That's the key. Doesn't matter, and that's why we're given chores. We're given people. That's why people come into our lives.
Exactly.
Either they're going to help you or we're going to help them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've talked to Gary about this in the past, but I had some trouble kind of early on in my life, and the way I got out of it was, helping other people. And the podcast we have, we're both good at different things, and that's what makes it work. We're not looking for anything from each other. We're doing it, in tandem.
Yeah, out of love.
Yeah, out of love, right?
Yeah, man. Tommy talks about love, and then he leans forward with that shirt and that little thing right there, and he looks like a priest. Father Chong.
Yeah. I don't mind
preach,
that.
Father Chong, preach.
I thought of that. I had that thought a few times, but then I realized that, that song "Blowing in the Wind."
Yeah.
Yeah, that the lyrics of that, how many times was a man walked down before they call him a man?
Yeah.
The answer is blowing in the wind.
It's blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Well, when I started,
yes, people, I just sang with Tommy Chong. Fuck y'all. This day is great.
When I think of being a guru or being someone that would show the people the way, I realize that is something that will happen or won't, depending on the situation.
Tommy, I think you are one already. You know what I'm saying? It's a natural thing, Life defines itself very naturally when you just move in it. That's why I became a comedian, because all my life people like, you should be a comedian. I don't write jokes. I just go up there and talk funny, And when you say that you remind, there's so many things that I connect with you, man. It's crazy, Tommy. But when you say, like, when I think about being a guru, I think about when you speak to people right now, you are inspiring the shit out of me.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I honestly believe, like you say, if you can see it, then you could achieve it. I believe one day I'm going to inspire hearts all over, and you just inspired a heart that's going to move a bunch of hearts. And I believe that's what it is, man. You share that love you share with the people around you. They share that love with the people around you. And then before you know it, there's more love than hate,
Yeah, people ask me, why am I so nice to my fans? Because I will go and sign autographs, and there's a few times one time I had to catch a plane or something, but I made sure I got everybody I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not to the point where I insist on anything.
Right.
But if there's a big lineup there and I look down the line, I don't see, all what I see is new souls. I'm getting to meet new souls, because that's the nicest part about what I do, is I get to meet, because angels come in all disguises, and it's fun finding them,
Yeah.
And because first of all, why are they there? They're there to see me. They're there to get an autograph, but more than anything, they're there to have a little chit chat with me,
Right,
Just
experience.
a little
Yeah,
energy
experience.
connection.
Yep.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
experience together, a
You
shared
know?
experience.
And it's so much fun, and I have so much fun because now I got a game with myself, finding out what they do for a living, and so I ask. But the other day, man, I kind of goofed a little bit, I guess. We're down south, and for some reason, everybody came in there was like really obese. I mean, Zootopia, obese. This one guy came in. He was so big. I had in my mind. I said 400 pounds, and so I said, how much do you weigh? And he took offense right away. He looked at me. He said, I don't know, 260.
I haven't checked in years.
Did you challenge him
I'm
on
gonna
it?
take a
Please
roundabout guess.
challenge him on it. Yeah.
But you see,
He took a roundabout guess, and he could only see
was
around
a
his waist,
moment.
so he didn't add his legs.
It was. He wasn't in that. Some of them are in the position to know exactly how much he weighed, because they're on a course to lose.
Yeah.
I used to be 600 pounds. Now I'm only 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi.
Bye, darling. My daughter's just left.
This is amazing, yo.
Hi, man.
You just made my whole month, Tommy. Maybe year.
When he got pissed off, kind of, Then he got his picture and his autograph, walked away, and I'm laughing at myself because, hey, man, I'm human.
Yeah. You just wanted to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seeing it's messed up, because if he asked you your weight, not an issue. So obviously you feel like there's a problem with your weight, because all I did was ask you your weight. I want to know what you're carrying around on those ankles, yo. That's all.
I understand.
Maybe you care about ankles.
Hey,
maybe you just wanted to know, if his ankles were hurting.
I understand. But I understand obesity too,
Right.
Because, in the joint, there's a lawyer, John, Big John. I was kind of mean to him when I think about it. But Big John, he was a lawyer, and he would tell everybody, you shouldn't be here. Your lawyer messed up, and I can fix it. And here, listen, why don't you come by tomorrow, and I'll look at your case. And he was a jailhouse lawyer, and he would tell everybody, but he was a midnight eater. He was heavy. I mean, heavy. He was about maybe close to 300 pounds, Yeah. And he'd get on an exercise bike, and I'd see him and do that, and I'd pretend I was a bike and going, oh, fuck, this fat guy on me again, Jesus. And then at night, see, there was a TV room that was always open 24 hours. And you could come in there.
Shit.
Yeah,
24-hour television.
If you could, because you weren't locked in the cells.
Right.
We were in bed.
Bunks,
so if you felt like coming, you go watch TV. He would take a bag of burritos, a shopping bag full of burritos in there. And he would come back with an empty shopping bag. Now, I never saw him eat them, but I mean,
I never saw him eat them. What do you
You know,
think you
yeah.
did with him, Tommy?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
sickness.
exactly.
That's a sickness, though. Like if people eat like that, it's uncontrollable. They don't have power over
No,
over
it's an
themselves
Themselves.
either.
addiction.
It's the
It's an
same thing
addiction.
as well. It's not the same thing, but it's similar to like heroin addiction or other addictions. And
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's no
Same
Same
self-control.
effect too.
Yep.
Same effect too, because
Yep.
they get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Well, we played an April's Fool's joke on because he was kind of obnoxious. No, he was a pain in the ass actually, and because he would promise people, hey, it can help you out. You should be here, and
Talk-
there's people in there,
Did y'all beat him with socks?
well,
Soap in a sock?
sometimes he could help him, but for the most part, he's just talking to hear himself talk. And so April Fool's comes up. And so I've got, I got tons of connections in the joint. And so I said, we got to play a good April Fool's joke on John. And so one of the guys says, how about if we serve him with an indictment, papers, because that's the worst thing you can get in the joint, you are hereby noticed to appear, blah, 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 on the charges of, and so we made up a charge of unlawful giving of legal advice. There's no such law. So we wrote it up and had the envelope and everything, stuck it on his bed. And then Steve, the biker, my dog, he was the one that did it. And so Steve walked over to see how John's doing. And literally John was sitting on his bunk looking at the paper, crying. He was crying. He was crying.
Oh man, you don't want somebody to cry. You want them to be annoyed, but you don't want him
Dad, he's crying.
But not hard. So
Just a little tear.
He
wasn't bawling. He was just a little.
Steve felt so bad. So John handed him the thing. He said, what do you think, Steve? And Steve looked at it. He said, you know what I think? And he ripped it in half. He said, I think it's April Fool. It's pretty sad April Fool's joke.
Did he laugh?
No, he didn't laugh.
Because he had already shit himself.
Oh, he was sad. He tried to
if
get
you would have
back.
told me 2 seconds earlier.
he tried to get back at me though. Just when I was getting ready to leave, I'm in the shower and all of a sudden this woman CEO comes over and puts her hands on the door. Hey, Chong, can I talk to you for a minute? And I looked, because women don't ever come in to the guy's thing,
You were thinking, damn, I'm about to get raped by the CEO right now.
What? That went through my head.
Of course it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Because women CEOs, and there was a lot of like football players and jocks and big healthy men in there. So I wouldn't doubt if a few of the ladies were, doing the extracurricular. But anyway, John sent it, and that was the best he could do. But I connected with John after he got out, and he's back. I don't think he's practicing law, but he's okay, and he's a lot thinner. He did lose weight.
That's good.
He gained weight. He gained weight because he was in the joint. That was his way of coping with it.
All right. Well, we all gotta do what we gotta do.
Shout out
I'm
to
just
John.
saying.
I hope he's doing.
I'm not saying that it's not a problem. I'm just saying understand it's your problem. Like, why do I gotta be? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't like it, eat lettuce. I'm sure no one's sitting there eating lettuce saying, I just keep getting bigger and bigger.
They never complain. The big people never complain to everybody else, No, it's obesity, man. It's another struggle.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be insensitive. Every man's struggle is his own.
Yeah.
That's it's their own burden
exactly
to bear.
What it is. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Queens, New York.
Oh,
Queensbridge. Yeah, in the story of Queens, New York.
So you've been hustling all your life then?
All my life. I'm still hustling now, Tommy, and you're my biggest payoff.
I love New York hustlers.
I've been hustling all my life. Just like you, I came, I I came up in a time when there was considered a middle class before they got rid of the middle class. You know, like there was a middle class in there.
Sure.
And that's where I grew up. You know, I grew up in the projects. You know, I never went without, but I had just what I needed.
Yeah.
Every summer I got a pair of sneakers, and that's your sneakers, boy. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, and they were probably Pro-Keds, you know, and I had to make them last until the next summer because I'm not going to get another pair.
That's it.
You know, and I had a pair of shoes for school and church.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying? Like I never went without, but I never had, you know, more.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yes. Yeah.
I've been grinding all my life. I did music. I was signed to Epic. I did that for like 20 years for a while. I was signed for 2 years, and then we got blackballed.
Vocal?
Yeah. And then we got blackballed. And, you know, and you should know they could do that. I didn't think they could do that. But they could. They literally blackballed us. And, you know, then I had kids, so I started taking care of the kids. And when I came back, I actually started we called it ghetto country because I taught myself to play guitar. And then I started a band called Rust and Blues. Oh. And I started playing like country, you know, like Johnny Cash if he grew up in the projects.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And then, you know, life just took me into comedy, and now I'm doing stand-up. I'm out in Atlantic City. I play every single night out here. It's crazy.
Do you sing in your act?
I mean, every now and then if I do something, I throw in a little vocal thing, but not really. I kind of separated the both somehow. Like people always go, you should bring the guitar up. And I go, that's a whole different thing. My music is very serious. You know, like I take the music that I write very serious, and the comedy is like, to me, something separate. I love comedy. It's the best. I don't let them really collide too much, you know?
So you're not really a guitar player then?
No, I'm a rhythm guitar player.
Yeah, that's me too.
I can hold a steady rhythm, but I can't play like leads and stuff like that, but I can hold a steady rhythm.
And you can accompany yourself.
Yeah.
When you sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can get, you know, I'm not a great singer, but you know, I'm a great entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
And you're a rapper, and you can rap too.
And I rap. Yeah.
I try. I haven't really tried rapping, but I wrote things. But you know, I'm country too, so all my raps kind of sound country.
Yeah, Tommy, would you happen to have a guitar in that room with you, Tommy?
I got a whole shitload of them.
Could I ask you to sing one verse of Up in Smoke? Would you do that for me?
Let me see. I guess I can.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you would,
I don't mind. I'll just do an acapella.
Oh yeah, I'll settle for that.
Up in the smoke, that's where my money goes. In my lungs, and sometimes up my nose.
That's right.
In troubled times when things begin to bother me, I take a toke and all my cares go up in smoke.
Tommy, I love you, Tommy. I'm such a fan right now, man. I'm gushing.
I have a question for you, Tommy. You said before that you knew Timothy Leary. Did you know a lot of those other guys too, like Allen Ginsberg and Neil Cassidy and a lot of those other guys that were coming up at the same time, like Jack Kerouac and any of them?
Burroughs.
Oh, you William Burroughs. Okay.
William Burroughs. I met William Burroughs. I had a thing with William Burroughs. It was pretty funny. No, I didn't meet the other guys. I was too busy working, you know, too busy on the road. They were on the road. I was on the road. Right. Although I went to, what's the guy that Doonesbury always said, what's his name? Mm-hmm. The writer that had a gun all the time.
You're talking about he was a
journalist.
Step it
up, Brian.
He was the journalist?
Yeah. The writer. Doonesbury always talks about
Hunter. Was it? You talking about Hunter Thompson?
Hunter Thompson.
Yeah, Hunter Thompson. Yeah. Okay.
Good job, Brian. You almost dropped that one.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas one time. In fact, it was a comedy thing fest in not Vegas. It was in Aspen, and Hunter was supposed to come, and then he died. And his wife had sort of like a party, sort of a wake kind of for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to his house, and it was more or less no one there. The wife was there, and that was it. And so I got to sit in his chair that he sat in, where he
Wow.
did all the writing, and I walked the grounds where he had his pistol and shoot different things. It was quite an experience. I never really met him, but I came close.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, to me, I kind of have on that same levels. They were so eccentric and such big artists and visionaries. They just couldn't, they all died young. All those guys did.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, they had the drug.
Right.
It's excess of anything will hit you. But when it's your turn to go, you're going to go.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like an acting role. When the movie's over, boom.
It's over.
I say, man, the only reality is the now. You know, tomorrow ain't nothing but a hope and a dream, and yesterday's a lesson to be learned from. The only reality is the now.
Learn
to live in the now, and you stress things so much less. I prepare for tomorrow, but I have no faith in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, I got to go now.
Tommy, I want to thank you for coming on my show, man.
Anytime, bro.
I didn't think it possible, but I actually became a bigger fan right now. Just talking to you, man, you definitely have inspired me, dog. I appreciate you so much for doing this, man.
You. Thank you. And if you see my products, hanging around and you got a few extra bucks, help make me the richest. Help make me the richest man in the world. Okay? So
that you can save the planet, man.
That's exactly it. Because I don't want people to leave, living on asteroids and shit like that. I want people to be able to continue living here. I mean, nothing's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I have a system. It's with the movie industry, by the way. I'll leave you with this. My plan is to, for the the immigration problem that we have from South America,
mm-hmm.
I want to hire. First of all, I want to form a movie company. I'm the only guy that has any say. The buck stops here, whatever. I want to. The first movie I want to do will be a 10-year project where I want to hire all the marchers from South America as movie actors or work for the movie company. That'll get them visas to come into the country. And that'll also give them a job while they're here, right? Because they'll be hired for me for at least 10 years. And I want to document everything I'm doing, plus do movies of their trip, and then follow people, especially the kids that were separated from their parents at the border. I want to find them and then do document their lives, and then help them with the movie company so that they'll have employment and a future and education. Mm-hmm. Because I want to get those kids. I want to put them in American schools and see what develop. It's like a garden with people. You take them and put them in this environment and watch them blossom and controlled environment and document the entire proceedings while I'm doing it. And so that's
Tommy, I wish you more.
Projects.
I wish you success, man. And I'm gonna do whatever for. I'm gonna buy up some bongs, give bongs to my son. I'm gonna do whatever I can do, dog. Next year, you said Cheech and Chong, sure, whatever it is.
Check out the CBD.
Yeah, there you go.
TommyChong.com, right? TommyChong.com.
Yeah. All right.
No doubt.
Yeah. Okay, you got it?
Tommy, love, man.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Love, dope. See you later, guys.
Peace.
Why even stop it, dog? You know what I'm saying? We didn't wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's wrap it up. Holy shit, that was pretty dope, people. I don't know about you, but that was dope for me. If you would have asked me if I ever thought I'd be chilling, smoking a blunt, while Tommy Chong drops some fucking fact shit on you.
Dude, what a great guy. One, for coming on our podcast. Didn't ask us for anything. All we did was ask him to jump on the show. He was more than accommodating with the time. Jumped on, gave us an hour of his time because he cares, you know?
Yeah, how do they lock up a heart like that, people? You know what I'm saying, man? And he's living proof that they could put anyone in fucking jail. If they want to put you in jail, they will put you in fucking jail. So pay attention, be alert. We're going to wrap this one up, right, boss? This is how we do it. We wrap it up. This has been another episode, man. I'm back, people. You know what I'm saying? In New York City every Monday, midnight show, the Not Quite Tuesday with my brother Adam Gable. You can catch me in Atlantic City every other time other than that. And I'll be hitting the road, actually, man. I think North Carolina, man. I'm coming out by you guys in December. So, follow me, Gary G. Garcia, Instagram, Facebook. If you haven't checked out my special, check out the special. What are you waiting for on YouTube? You did not see me here tonight. Brian.
Patreon.com/RatedG.
9 more, and I beat this dude's ass.
And
9 more subscriptions, and I
Gary's
beat this dude's ass.
9 more subscriptions. That's it, people. Thank you.
Love.